Hey guys, welcome back to another math lesson with HKM Math and Science. This video is about triangles, and the learning intentions for today is to learn about triangles and their properties. And your success criteria is to be able to classify triangles using their side lengths, be able to classify triangles using their interior angles, be able to use the angle sum of a triangle to find the unknown angles, and finally use the exterior angle theorem to find the unknown angles. So let's just pause the video here and take a couple of moments to write these down. Alright, so let's start off with the first success criteria, and that's to be able to classify triangles using their side lengths. So if you look on this slide, we have the different triangles classified with their side length, this one here. And a key point here is that sides with the same number of dashes are of equal length. So don't get confused with parallel lines. These are arrows. Sorry for the horrible parallel lines. Don't get confused with the arrows and dashes, as they mean different things. So the first one we have on the left is a scalene triangles. In a scalene triangle, all sides are different lengths. Notice they all have a different number of dashes, indicating that they have different side lengths. And also this means that all the angle sizes are different. So that angle, and that angle, they all have a different size. The next type of triangle we have is an isosceles triangle. In this case, two sides are the same length. As you can see with the dashes, they have two dashes each. That means they have the same side length. And in an isosceles triangle, that we also have two angles that are the same size, and these are these angles here. And our last type of triangle with side lengths is the equilateral triangle. In this case, all sides are the same length. As you can see here, they all have the same number of dashes, and all the angles are also the same size. They are all 60 degrees in every equilateral triangle. Alright, now moving on to the second success criteria, that's to be able to classify triangles using their interior angles. So let's go on to the next slide. These are the three types of triangles classified by the interior angles. The first one is an acute triangle, and if you remember from previous lessons, acute angle is an angle that is smaller than 90 degrees. So in this case, acute triangles have all angles that are acute. In a right angle triangle, we have one right angle, as you can see there. And in an obtuse triangle, there is one obtuse angle. And remember, obtuse angle means it is larger than 90 but smaller than 180. And that's your obtuse angle right there. Alright, now let's move on to the angle properties of a triangle. The angles inside a triangle, they always sum to 180 degrees. So that means when you add them together, it is always going to equal 180 degrees. Whether your triangle looks like that, or like that, the angles inside always equal 180 degrees. Sorry about that. And exterior angle theorem. The exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two opposite interior angles. So if you can see how that angle is going to equal that plus that. In this case as well, let's go over here. Let's say that angle, that exterior angle, is going to equal that plus that. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so this may seem like a lot of information at the moment, but hopefully it will make a bit more sense in the next few slides where we do a couple of example questions. So let's start off with this one here. Let's find the value of A in these triangles. Remember, when you add them all together, it's going to equal 180 degrees. So that means A equals 180 minus 38 plus 92. Let's add that first. And we're going to do this without a calculator. So let's do 92 plus 38 first. Have that there. 8 plus 2 is 10. 9 plus 3 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. So we have A equals 180 minus 130. So 180 minus 130 equals 50. So that means A equals 50 degrees. Now let's move on to the next one. This one is a scalene triangle, as you can see, because they have two dashes each here. And remember, in a scalene triangle, let's just go into the slide before, two sides are the same length and two angles are also the same size. So that means A is the same size as that. And that means we technically have two angles with the letter A. That's what it kind of looks like. So we can write that equation as 2 times A, because we have two lots of A, equals 180 minus 26. So let's do 180 minus 26 first. Let's do that quickly over here. We don't want to use a calculator. 10 minus 6 is 4, 7 minus 2 is 5, 1 minus 0 is 1. So 2 times a is going to equal 154. Now we want to move the 2 over to the other side. So that means it will be a equals 154. And to move the 2 to the other side, we need to do the opposite of whatever that is to get rid of that 2. So that means we have to divide 2 on both sides. Remember that fraction symbol is the same as division. That means we can cancel those 2 out. So we're left with a equals 154 divided by 2. Now let's quickly do that on the right here. Remember, you don't want to use a calculator. 15, 2 goes into 15 7 times, remainder of 1. And then 2 goes into 14 7 times again. So that means a equals 77 degrees. Alright, now let's pause the video here and have a go at these questions by yourself, and just unpause them when you're ready to go through them with me. Alright, the first one on the left is a little bit easier. Remember, all 3 angles added together equals 180 degrees. So that means a equals 180 minus 110 plus 23. Let's do 110 plus 23 first. So a equals, let's quickly do that up here, 110 plus 23. 3 plus 0 is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3, 1 plus 0 is 1. That equals 180 minus 133. So a equals 180 minus 133. Let's do that up here. 8 is 133. 8. You take that away. 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. 1 minus 1 is 0. So we have 47 degrees up here. Give yourself a tick if you got that one correct. And the next one, remember, it's a scalene triangle. We have 2 dashes on 2 of the sides, meaning they are the same length. That means 2 angles are also the same, so that is also the same as a. So remember, we have 2 lots of a. That is 2 times a, or you can just write it, 2a equals 180 minus 48. And now let's do 180 minus 48. 10 minus 8 is 2, 7 minus 4 is 3, 1 minus 0 is 1. So we have 2a equals 132. Now we need to divide both sides by 2 to get rid of the 2 on the left, because we want a by itself. And to do that, let's quickly do a division on the left here. 2 goes into 13 6 times, the remainder of 1. 2 goes into 12 another 6 times. So now we know that a equals 66 degrees. Give yourself a tick if you got that one correct as well. Alright, now let's move on to the next question here. This one might be a bit harder than the ones before. So the first step in this case to find angle A is to find this angle here. We can do that because that's a straight line. Remember, straight lines always have a total angle of 180 degrees. So that angle there, I'm just going to call it B. B equals 180 minus 161. Let's do that up here. 180 minus 161. 10 minus 1 is 9. 7 minus 6 is 1. That gives you 19 degrees. So we know B is 19 degrees here. Now to find angle A, we can do that now because we have the angle, total angle of the other 2. That's a right angle, so that's 90 degrees. A is going to equal 180 minus 90 plus 19. And 90 plus 19, that gives you 109. So A equals 180 minus 109. I'll just do that up here just to show you. 9 plus 0 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. And next step, A equals 180 minus 109. I'll do that quickly over here. 10 minus 9 is 1. 7 minus 0 is 7. And we have A equals 71 degrees. Remember, if you are confused at any point, just make sure to ask your teacher. We'll be happy to help you. Now moving on to the next one. Just pause the video here. It's the same concept as the one we did just before. And just unpause the video when you're ready to go through them with your teacher. Alright, so just like before, our first step is to find the value of that angle there. And remember, straight line is always equal to 180 degrees. So I'm just going to call this angle B again. B equals 180 minus 145. That equals, I'll just quickly do that up there, 180 minus 145. 10 minus 5 is 5, 7 minus 4 is 3. B is going to equal 35 degrees. So we know that's 35 degrees. And to find A, remember total angle of a triangle is also 180 degrees. and we know that's 90, so we need to add those two together first. Equals 180 minus 90 plus 35. That gives you, I'll do 90 plus 35 first. 5 plus 0 is 5, 9 plus 3 is 12. 180 minus 125, and let's do 180 minus 125 over here. 10 minus 5 is 5, 7 minus 2 is 5. So now, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So we know that A equals 55 degrees. So let's just write that over here, A equals 55 degrees, and give yourself a tick if you got that correct. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this lesson. Hopefully you guys do have a better understanding of triangles now, and you guys know how to classify triangles using both the side lengths and the interior angles. You guys can use the angle sum of a triangle to find the unknown angles, and you guys can use the exterior angle theorem to find the unknown angles. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all back online.